just like cautiously like looked at me right when it started. Like, are we doing
I
this?
thought you hit the thing too early, to be honest.
I might
I thought you
have.
hit this too soon because it was still like 2, 1 when you started it.
I think it starts recording at 1. I've learned because there would be like a moment of silence before. Sometimes, like an unintentional moment of silence. Like no one died.
That's the millennial pause.
Oh fuck.
We're old.
Speaking
Hi.
of old,
Oh my god. Hi.
Oh my god.
It's nice to be back in the saddle.
Oh my god. Confidants, confident bottoms. It's been.
That's it.
It's fucking been. And I have to be the one to take responsibility to apologize, not only to you listeners, but to Zach.
Oh my gosh.
My bestie, for the way I have not been a podcasting partner the last 3 weeks.
You don't owe me an apology. You probably owe our listeners an apology.
Okay, I'm sorry, listeners.
No, you don't owe anyone an apology. You are a humaning, and it's so. This is so like. This podcast is beautiful and wonderful, but like your mental health and like your posterity.
Oh, sure.
I don't know what it means.
I don't know what that means, but I'll look it up while you talk.
It's the most important thing, and it's been. I think I've said overarchingly, I've been frustrated because I feel like I've been out of my depth and not sure how to be of most of service.
Oh, which is so funny to me because I feel like you're so integral in my like circle of healing and being there. And I also think you might have some PTSD from what you had to go through that I think you deserve a little space and break.
Oh, sure. Well, you know what?
You got it.
We'll talk about that whenever you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, like I was nervy to even start recording today because I was just like, oh God, where we left off.
Yeah.
It was such a sad
Wait, I don't remember
episode.
where we left off.
Well, I recorded that
your
one.
solo one.
Yeah, and then we took a week off.
Yeah. Just one?
I know, it felt like 3.
It felt like, yeah.
You did basically take 3 off.
Okay, calm down.
Sorry, I gave you 3 weeks off as a partner.
Well,
because,
you did one by yourself.
And then we had
a week off.
And then we posted one of your Patreon episodes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I worked that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're back is the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys for just kind of showing me support. And
did you get so many messages after
oh my God, so many. Which I was. It's so interesting because I didn't think it was useful. I was like, I just have to be here and tell you guys the truth because I don't know how to like hide anything in my life from people.
I think that's wonderful. I'd rather have that than the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean you'd rather have that than the silent treatment? Same.
Whoa.
But I didn't realize just by saying what was real that so many people were going to say that the exact same thing has happened to them.
Have their own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the messages I got were like so I like couldn't read them at some point because I was like crying. They were so sweet. But
damn.
It's just we have such a good listenership.
Honestly, all the confident bottoms and everyone I've ever met has been so. Rebecca.
Rebecca from the retreat.
Because I think she identifies probably as a confident bottom or
definitely.
a confidant, and she was so sweet.
Oh,
it was just I think people who like us are A, brilliant, B, probably sexy,
yeah,
C,
probably
either
mentally
rich or
ill.
on their way to being rich.
Ooh, calling that in.
Yeah, you know what? Mental illness makes you fucking cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not to glamorize it.
But I've been doing that for 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, everyone needs a little adversity.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yes, thank you guys for being there. We will, I'm sure at some point address things in a more cohesive way. But there's almost like just too much other stuff to talk about and do that when things feel ready to talk about.
Also, like, I think it's one of those things you are not going to know really what's actually happening until like a couple months from now, probably.
Yeah, because I'm
like,
still pretty lost.
Oh, yeah. You're like, I see. You'll be able to spot on the map where you were.
Yeah.
Like, once you get out of the woods.
Definitely in the woods. But you know what helps?
I have an idea. It's something I would, if I were a doctor, I think I would prescribe it.
having sex with a professional athlete
dude,
to get through a hard time.
y'all, I don't know how much Kelsey is gonna let me say about
my
this
God.
man, but he is he makes like I dropped an egg.
Oh
I
my
started
God.
ovulating. My butthole was quivering. How tall is he?
6'5".
And just
Like literally it was so funny because I, as a joke at lunch, when my mom was in town helping me like grieve, I was like, God, why can't I just have a professional athlete? Like, why does everyone else get one? That just seemed, and then what happened?
wait, hold on. Who's everyone else gets one?
I just feel like peripherally, everyone's got.
All I know so
fucking-
far are you and Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Those are the only people I can name with professional athletes.
I just also, confidence, I need you to understand, this man for a living catches balls with his hands.
Yeah, he does.
Like he's
Those big old mitts.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
I mean, and we even, I want to objectify him more.
I mean, I doubt he listens
you
to a
let me
podcast.
glance at today was just like well, first of all, okay, this is a point off. He didn't eat the shitty food with us that we were eating. He wouldn't he wouldn't get gross with us. He like when the ice cream came, he took like a teaspoon of ice cream
Just to
and he's
be
like,
nice.
"Oh, this is good." I can't even do his accent, but I was just like, "Fucking eat the ravioli that we
Dude,
all ate."
Athletes are, and like I'm talking about a pro athlete. I'm not just talking
I
about someone who
know.
like for funsies like plays sports. Like this is his literal job and identity is
Yeah.
to be an athlete.
That came across.
And yeah, well, I'm just seeing it in that like holy shit. What did he say at one point? Because he was over.
I'm trying to get to full volume.
Oh my! When I
Wait,
said
full
that, I was
volume,
like,
right?
yeah. I popped a boner. I was like, I don't even know what that means, and I'm hard as a rock.
Yeah, I'm slippery, slopping, slushy down there.
And you know what's crazy is like I've been a fucking pillow princess, which I
Does
am.
that mean you just lay there?
Yes, because I'm not normally.
I believe that.
I'm the one that's like, let's try handstands and breathing
Yes.
through scuba tubes while we
Yes.
fuck. And
Uh-huh.
like, what about this crazy thing? And this guy, for an athlete, I don't know if that's like, I just assume athletes probably don't have to do much to get laid. So I thought they would be the pillow princesses, you know?
Interesting. Like, just ride it, babe.
Yeah, because
Or,
they
like,
don't
suck my
fucking
dick
have
or
to.
something.
Yeah. Like, they
But also,
don't have to try.
What they excel in like a physical arena. So I think they
Exactly.
want to like their body is their main tool.
It is like an athletic performance in a way. This is all I can say was I think the universe was like, here's a pro athlete for what you've been having to go through.
Dude, I think the universe still owes you.
I do too.
Like right now you're fucking so in so much pain.
Oh yeah, guys.
It
You
wasn't
can't even
sexually
see.
though.
Well, that I know of.
Wait, are we done talking about the guy? I kind of
Oof.
want to like. Can we not say more?
I feel like I'm scared to give his identity or like
Well, no, not his identity, but like like
he's
like,
very
the
like
date was cute.
a lot.
Can
oh,
you
yeah.
talk about?
Okay, so he's very into books. Like
So, yes.
huge reader. Like reads a book a week. And like I wrote a book. And so he just thought that was like so cool.
So I will say, I think there's this misconception that athletes are not intelligent.
Oh yeah.
But I think,
Right.
and that might be true for like high school athletes,
But
maybe even college,
not
but not pro. I think pro, you have to actually be
study.
so good
Yes.
at just like anything.
You have to know statistics. You have to know other players, like how they play.
Sure, you just have to operate at full volume.
Fucking volume. And so we actually connected over our like love of books. And I was like, well, let's go to a bookstore for a first date. And so like, of course, too, I was like, should I even be dating right now? Like, should I even be
The
out?
short answer is no, but
And look, I'm sure, go through the motions of what's good for me. I think like my biggest concern is just breaking patterns that I had
Sure.
developed with Sir and another ex of mine.
Yeah.
So like my biggest thing is like not having the same fucking
the
patterns.
thing is,
happen.
your past two exes weren't pro athletes. By comparison, they were both fucking Shrimpy. No, not to body shame the guys
this
used to date,
man's
but like
body.
this guy's body was like, yikes.
They're
Like before and after pictures.
This man can bench press me with just a finger. I'll say that. And I know because he rose me 6 inches off the bed.
I bet he fucking worked you like a puppet.
It's just, I'm curious to see where this goes. You know, I'm just not making any pattern behavior. I'm doing things.
You're going to be erratic as fuck from here on out.
I'm gonna do everything the opposite. So I'm not gonna communicate.
Nope.
I'm not gonna be open.
Yep.
I'm gonna close off. I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna fucking
totally.
No, I'm gonna be, if anything, like even more myself. But knowing this is a big thing I learned from I'll touch on who she is, but she told me that anxious attached people date avoidantly attached people because it reinforces their own beliefs. So like an anxious person will subconsciously date an anxious or an avoidant person because when that person is inevitably avoidant, it proves the anxious person's beliefs.
That people are going to leave them.
Yes. And for avoidant people, like who love to just disappear, cut off, silent treatment, the opposite, like the healing, the breaking your patterns, the breaking the thing would be to lean into the discomfort and communicate. And so for me, being anxiously attached, the thing to break is the over communication. It's the over checking in and making sure things are okay.
I didn't realize.
Yeah. So for me, it's actually space. So
and not communicating as much.
Yeah. So, but like with the athlete, right? When we do communicate, it's because he's reached out and like expressed interest. I'm like, I'm not going to just open my fucking shit again to someone. I am not there.
Totally.
And I don't even know where I am. But the person who told me this and that I learned a lot from is she's like the world renowned breakup expert. Her name is Amy Chan. And you guys might remember from last year's podcast about breakups. She wrote Breakup Boot Camp. And it is basically like not sitting in a circle kumbayaing, but it's like how to break your patterns and how to understand the science of heartbreak. So I actually got to speak to her in like face to face or like voice to voice and kind of explained what I did, what happened, and like her validation of like what I did was not wrong or like that it was a survival tactic.
Sure.
And that what the other person gave me and is continuing to do to me is not correct, is that I just was like, oh, okay, I'm on a different growth level than the other person.
Of course.
Because I can say...
And all of your friends could have told you that.
Yeah, it's true.
Sorry
no, when it comes from you, it's like, yeah, I know, but sometimes I'm like worried. But if the coffee barista from my coffee shop says it, and mutuals of his people are saying it.
If you would feel comfortable going on like a people's court show and like stating your case,
then
you'd be like, okay, I'm right.
So I have to at least go with that of being like, my desire to connect with someone, even if it's like a poly satellite person, is to communicate. Here's what it is. I've never not been friends with an ex. There's one and I got a restraining order against him in my early 20s.
Right.
That is not this.
No.
So this is wild to me. And I keep being like, what's wrong with me that we're not friends? And I can't do that to myself.
It just sucks because... it's like your rational brain doesn't have like a rational answer. So it's like viciously trying to make a story or like connect dots, and there just aren't dots to connect.
Yeah, it's a lot of like lack of communication and the closure just having to be that I'm not going to get any, and the closure is actually with myself of like I have to believe that being in relation with someone and being in a position to say, I will go with you through the shit and that way both of us can come out the other side better people, even if that means we decide to still break up, like with what Jared and I did. It's like, I still care about you healing.
Yeah.
And if that means helping you through a breakup heal, then I can do that for you.
Absolutely. It's like, can we have another conversation?
Yeah.
Yes. Can we have dinner tonight and just sit
And be
like,
honest with each other.
Yeah.
And like, can we even just at the level of being like, we plan to be friends again? And I don't know if it's just like, I'm okay with that. Like, I prefer to have that, because the not knowing is, you start to tell yourself anything, the wondering, and that to me is like, well, now in my mind, I'm creating stories that may or may not be true of how this person is or isn't feeling or thinking. And I don't know if I like to be friends with someone like that is like, I just don't believe anything that I believed like 2 weeks ago to be true. And it's just been unique, and I'm excited to grow and learn from it. If anything,
That's good.
Yeah, I think I'm doing better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
From 18 days ago, you're like a whole new person.
A whole new person. I want to name that it's gonna be your birthday this week, bitch. Why isn't that? Hey, you're turning 40. You're turning 40.
Could you imagine?
How do you feel?
I'm turning 38, and it's so like, I mean, might as well be 40. Obviously, there's still 30
Shut
and
up.
39, but like, it is very crazy that like 38's like, that's getting there.
Yeah, but what is it called when
I'm the oldest listener of this podcast.
Fuck off. No, you're not. But what is it called when you lost 10 years to drinking, so you're really only 28?
Oh my God. Okay.
You know what I
like
mean?
That.
I feel like you deserve some redos of some of those years.
Okay, I will say, and this is I love that my sobriety date is so close to my birthday, because I'm turning 8 years sober in November, and I'm very excited about that. So like, I think the trade-off here is that like,
so you subtract 8 from 38 and you're 30.
yeah.
Okay.
I think I like that as I get older, assuming I stay sober, that date will be exciting to see going up.
Yeah.
So like, as my physical human mortal age increases, so does my sobriety age.
Which is a cool thing to see increase.
Yeah.
And so is your age. Let's be real. Aging is a privilege. Every day that we're here is amazing.
It really is. Life is so fragile. And you really get a taste of that when you have like physical pain.
Girl.
And you should know about physical pain.
I sure do. I'm having a flare and a half today.
Have we addressed it yet?
I don't think we did. I have a locked neck, so I can't look all the way to one side or the other.
What are you doing with your neck so violently?
What do you think?
Coming
He's
real
an
hard.
athlete. I'm like tapping out after 3 hours.
Well, he catches balls for work, then you catch some balls
For
play.
pleasure.
Yeah.
So this neck thing is a problem, but we're working through it.
Yeah, I hate to see friends in pain.
But you rubbed some Tiger Balm on my back.
I did. I gave you a little shoulder, a little
rub ski.
elbow.
Getting
And
the
you're like,
knots out.
You were in pain, but
Yeah, but I liked it too.
it was good.
But speaking about your birthday, tell us the theme of your birthday and then how it ties into TikTok Tommy.
My birthday. And I want to shout out Partiful or whatever, the app, because last year when I had like a little birthday thing, I sent out a text, like a picture, a flyer.
Yeah.
But then I like had no head count. Because like people are like,
chaos.
they'd heart it. I'm like, okay, either 50 people are coming or 4 people are coming. I have no idea. This Partiful or whatever, it's like you RSVP, you can send everyone a text who's going, you can send like a reminder. But the theme is when I dip, you dip, we dip. And it's a dip party. So everyone brings their favorite dip and dippy or whatever you call the thing that you dip in. And I'm making queso and I'm making cowboy caviar.
What is that?
It's like basically like a really chunky salsa where it's like corn, beans, chunks of like vegetables. Like it's a really, and then also I have the things to make a dessert dip.
Oh.
Did you know you can make cake dips? Kelsey.
Zachary.
It's like you take a funfetti cake mix and you add it's vanilla pudding, cream cheese, and something else, and then you just fucking dip. And it's like this sludgy cake flavored dip.
Should I make that for your thing?
You could. I don't really expect you to make anything.
What?
I don't.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
You mean I just buy it?
I can't picture you in the kitchen.
Well, that's the nicest thing a man has ever said to a woman.
Totally.
I can't picture you in the kitchen.
Picture you in the kitchen. I don't want to because I want to eat delicious food.
Yeah. You want me to buy something good instead of trying to disaster cook.
Honestly, I also have in the back of my head that you obviously have anxiety, and I don't know how comfortable you are going to parties, little get-togethers.
Yours are fine. Okay. I like yours.
But some of the boys there will be a lot of overlap from the Christmas party that
which
you
I
came
love.
to. Yeah, and that was a good party.
Such good guys.
It was such good vibes. And so dip, Dewey. So do you have any idea what dip you're making?
I was thinking about doing a dessert because I figured everyone was going to do savory.
I think that's still a great idea.
Guys, confidants, if you have dip ideas, the party isn't till... Oh, wait, no, it'll have passed.
It'll have happened. But I will say, yesterday I did a dry run of one of the dips, a roasted garlic dip. Okay. Do you see food TikToks?
Yes.
Okay. The whole thing where they cut off the top of the garlic clove and then you drizzle with olive oil and you cover it in foil.
I've been doing that for
and then
years.
You squish.
That's an Italian.
Do that?
Babes, that's from The Godfather.
Okay, but you do that?
I've done it.
Okay.
Maybe once.
You said been doing it for years.
Yeah.
You do it every Sunday night.
Every Sunday, me and the boys gabaganoosh.
But it's that, and it's sour cream and a little bit of mayonnaise and cream cheese, and then it's chives and then some seasoning.
I have not eaten in 18 days, and you just made me hungry.
Really?
Yeah.
It turned out pretty good.
The dip?
I did a dry run of it yesterday. It was a little bit wetter than I wanted it to be.
Same.
But I think it's because I blended it instead of just hand stirring. Because if you blend it, it can get soupier.
Oh, that checks out. Yeah, well, the blades are sharp.
Yeah, and smaller pieces, I guess, makes more liquid.
Jinx! I was going to tell you my TikTok taught me.
Oh my God, please go.
Okay, so my TikTok taught me. I have two. One fun, one mind-blowing. Which one do you want first?
Let's start with mind-blowing.
Bitch! Zachary, do you know where pine nuts come from?
It's not like pine cones, is it?
It's fucking pine cones.
Really?
Pine nuts come from pine cones.
Where? What part?
You know the little the brown part? That's the cone. If you take out one of those little wings,
yeah, it has it on the end.
Yes, it's inside that little part.
That's wild.
Wild, right?
I really hate that blew both of our minds.
It fucked me up. I was like, this is fake. This can't be real. And people on TikTok were like, dog, this is not good that we don't learn this until now on TikTok.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Pine nuts.
And pine nuts are great. I like them.
They make everything smell better.
I have a kind of mind-blowing thing.
Let's hear it.
Did you know what our national debt is?
God, isn't it 20 gazillion?
It's 33 trillion.
Ay.
Do you know what the interest is every day?
What?
$1 billion. Why are they making us do credit scores? America has the most ratchet credit score in the world, I bet.
It's also whenever I get sad about these things, I just remember it's also made up. We made this up.
Yeah.
Someone had their little fucking fidget cube with their pencil in a dark room with a candle being like, how can I fuck the world up?
Crazy.
We did this to ourselves.
Okay, now what's the fun thing?
Okay, the fun one was on TikTok. I learned about, have you ever heard of a hummingbird party?
No.
I didn't either. Okay, so during hummingbird season, the friends get together and
hummingbird friends?
Sorry, human friends.
Okay.
During hummingbird season. Sorry, that wasn't very clear. And it's a party. and it's an outdoor picnic, and each person dresses up. It's a competition to dress up in the thing that will attract a hummingbird the most. And you all sit outside in a circle and
see
you
how many
eat food.
hummingbirds?
And the first person to get a hummingbird to come feed from their outfit wins.
Wait. They feed on the outfit? Do they have like sugar?
Yes. So these motherfuckers be doing huge headpieces, like drag queen style, like
With a little sugar water thing?
Everywhere. And then they study like which way the bird likes to enter and like what color. So they were all wearing like different shades of red because hummingbirds like the color red, and then where to put it. And like the funny thing is, watching these TikTok videos of like the parties is the hummingbirds get really close and then they realize it's a human and they buzz away. And so they're like, oh, shit! And so you have no idea when the hummingbird's gonna like land.
That is so funny.
And I was like, we gotta try that.
Wait, I heard hummingbirds don't land.
Well, they don't land, but they will feed out of you.
Yeah, they like hover.
Yeah, so it was very funny to watch like a bird almost land and then like take off and everyone loses their shit. And I was just like, that just seems like such low stakes, high fun.
Yeah, it does. It could be
Right?
very boring.
I think that's the goal, is like you get your friends. So you're also sitting around having a picnic.
Got it. And then when one comes, all
Everyone
attention goes.
Yes.
Does anyone try to ruin it for the people?
No. Could you imagine? I would fucking lose my shit. I
Yeah.
would lose my shit.
Hummingbirds, I just realized they do a lot of sugar and their wings go so fast. I feel like they're like the meth heads of birds.
That's why maybe I vibe with them so hard.
I agree.
God, talking about meth head energy, we'll talk about that, about the retreat this week. But before we go to a quick break, I thought it would be fun. You know what's something we haven't done in a while?
What?
Dating no filter question.
Dating no filter. I told you I was on a show. Kara Connors, one of our co-stars.
Hey, shout out DNF.
She runs a show in Glendale that I was on. And also, Nina Parker and I, our birthdays are 2 days apart.
Oh, we love both of those people.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
If for some reason you're new here and you didn't know, you could watch Zach and I's show on Hulu called
There's like 44
Dating No
episodes of
Filter.
it.
Yeah.
Also, I blew a guy recently.
Oh,
And
oh,
as he was leaving, he went,
no.
by the way, I really love Dating No Filter.
Oh my God! How did that make you feel?
I'm so glad it was on his way out because I was like,
If he would have said that before,
I don't know.
I felt that happened to me once at a sex party, and it felt very weird. Like I kind of didn't like it. I was kind of like, dude, false pretenses.
Yeah, I don't know. It does feel like you were like tricked
Yeah.
a little bit.
But like for a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, and then when we exchanged numbers, it was on a dating app. And then when I texted him, I was like, "Hi, Zach from Dating No Filter
Stop. That's so funny. Did he respond?
here." Yeah.
Oh, that's very silly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. I figured this was a pretty good question because I'm going to be a little bit biased,
Okay.
but this could be coming from me, but it's not. At Katie Reyes says, how soon is too soon to get back out there post breakup? Have been healing, still healing, but am better.
Say the first part again. I'm so sorry, I blinked.
You ignored the whole question.
Yeah.
How soon is too soon to get back out there post breakup?
Oh, I don't think there is. I think that this is a misconception that there's like a
Ooh.
number, a day count where it's like good to go. As someone said once, like you should like divide how long you were with someone in half,
Which
and
is
like that's how long it
absurd.
should take to get over them. But it's just like it even sounded dumb coming out of my mouth. I mean, I think you should just need to be really honest with yourself. And if you feel like, because I think we were talking about this with you a little bit, like if you are, say you're going on a date just to have sex or whatever, but you know it's to take your mind off it, or you know it's to soothe yourself, or you know it's for a
feel
self-esteem
loved.
boost.
Yeah.
Like just I think if you're honest with that and maybe like jot down, journal about it, write down the reasons why you do want to go on a date or whatever. And if you can like kind of stand by them, or after you get back from that date and you're like, yeah, this lines up with what happened. Or if the date's horrible and you're like, oh, I should have known. And if I were more honest with myself, I didn't really want to go on it for
Exactly.
connection. I wanted to go on it to get back at someone or
Ooh,
whatever.
yeah. God, that sounds exhausting as a date.
I mean,
I'm out with you, wasting my time in order
I'll show them.
to get back at someone who has no idea this is happening. Yes, much like you, I think it's an arbitrary and also very like subjective thing. Like for some people in my situation, you know, being a non-monogamous person, I was never planning on like not dating people. I've closed relationships in the past. I don't think I had ever closed it with myself, being like, oh, I just need to be alone in the woods right now. But I think with what I had been through of being like super honest with myself, like where are my patterns and where am I getting back into the same exact situation? Like what kind of person do I obviously attract? Like saying that I didn't fucking God, like saying I didn't want a project and then signing up for a fucking project.
Dude.
It's like I said
you like went to the PTA board and signed up for all of the
oh
responsibilities.
my God. And like donated $1 million in a scholarship and was like, it's like, that's my fault. That's my fucking problem. And so if I know that and I find myself going out on dates with people that I'm hearing these red flags and I'm ignoring them, that's not healthy for me to be dating. It's reinforcing a pattern. If they happen to be a professional athlete and have all their shit together and don't need anything from me.
Not even food. Not even
food.
a snack.
Not
that
even
guy,
ice cream.
That guy, you could order cake with him and
he wouldn't
you would have
ask
to
for
share
any.
it.
Which is truly a wet dream for me.
Yeah.
But even still, like with other people, right? Like I think also depending on how the breakup went, like if you were broken up with, grieving and having that shock and having that pain and letting it flow through you, having space for that. If you were someone that like had been ready to leave for a while, kind of like, you know, with Jared and I, where it was a very long process of breaking conscious uncoupling, I felt ready to be like, okay, I feel healthy enough to be out there. It's just so subjective. So I would say like only you really know. Like if the idea of signing up for a dating app makes your stomach hurt, like don't do it.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that though too, because I always go back to have you heard if you avoid things that make you anxious, eventually everything will make you anxious.
100%.
If you avoid things that make you sweat, eventually everything will make you sweat. I think at some point you might have to get through the stomach ache, but yes, don't go if it's like I'm having a panic attack at the thought of this.
And something I heard was like, don't get back on the apps until you're ready to see your ex on the apps potentially. Ugh. Like if you don't think you're going to be able to handle that,
then
fucking shut it.
Clear. I can't wait for you to get back from this boot camp so you have more perspective. Because this person actually sounds like they could benefit from the boot camp breakup camp, breakup boot camp.
Yeah, book. Yeah. There's also a ton of resources I want to give for breakups. Oh my God, what was that noise? Did you hear that?
It's probably hippo farting in the most high-pitched way possible. Hippo has been farting.
But that's for Dating No Filter. I feel like that's good enough of an answer. Let's end on farting. And when we come right back, you're going to hear all about the retreat. I don't know what that was. That was a new energy I gave for bringing us back from an ad. I'm so sorry.
No, yeah, I'm a little disoriented.
Okay, are you back? Sure. Do you need a breath? Do you need a beat?
Do you need a breath?
No. No, let's all take a cleansing breath. Oh my God, Zach, we did the fucking retreat.
You did. I didn't.
Oh, yeah. You did not, but I did. Me and the girlies, we fucking did it. We did Don't Panic Retreat. It was nervous system regulation up in the Malibu Mountains, 4 nights, 5 days, 16 girls. The Los Angeles Times is releasing an article about it next week. By the time this comes out, it might be out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and the ambulance only came once, which for us is pretty amazing.
That is, I can't wait because I I was there. Was that the day? No, it was like 2 days after.
2 days
you got back.
after, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys were hinting that there was an ambulance experience, but you wouldn't tell me what. So
No,
I'm really excited to hear.
I was like, shut up. Don't tell him. We have to podcast later this week.
We should probably start with that though, right? And then talk about all the good stuff.
Yeah. So the ambulance did come once on the last day, which Sunday was the last like full day we had. And it was dramatic, but it ended up being okay. So one of our lovely retreaters, whom I love so dearly, excuse me, she had an old back injury that she had warned me like, oh, it's flaring up before travel. Like I might only be able to do some certain things like yoga and blah, blah, blah. And we were like, yeah, of course, like take it at your own pace. She texted me, she's like, it's feeling much better. I'm going to go full out. And when I say she went full out, like she participated in every single thing. We were having dance raves in the morning, movement class, like scream therapy, yoga twice a day,
Wow.
like cold plunging. Like she was doing all of it. And it was starting to hurt her a little bit. And then like she was having these really amazing big like emotional breakthroughs too. And so I think she was really in it. And then Sunday, have you ever heard or like seen on a TV show where like an 80-year-old literally cannot get out of bed? Like they cannot move. They cannot like even turn to the left or right. And like the paramedics have to like come get them out of bed.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that.
Yeah. So poor, sweet, lovely retreater, she had a compressed disc, a herniated disc, and like the sciatic nerve issue. And something flared to where like Zachary, we could not even like go from sitting up to lying down or like move her to the left and right. Like moving her at all was horrific horror screams, like crying. Her feet were freezing. Her hips were sweating.
Oh my God.
She was pale as a ghost. Like we tried for a few hours, all like not naturopathic things, but things that didn't involve like heavy drugs or help to try and get her feeling better. And I was just watching this poor girl deteriorate at a level where I was like, it should be getting better if it was going to get better. And thank God our sous chef, he was so like big and buff and was able to like lift her at one point just to get her to the couch. And by dinner time, all the girlies were like starting to sit down to get ready for dinner. And we were like, do you want to try and just like at least sit up so we could get you some food in you? And she tried to stand up and immediately faints. Like immediately
From, like,
passes out.
pain?
Yes. And she's like, I think I'm going to pass out. And I was like, that's okay. And like three of us just like watched her collapse into our arms. Her lips completely blue. Her eyes rolled in the back of her head. She's like profusely sweating, but also shaking cold. Like it looked like she was in labor, but was not having a baby.
Oh my God.
And like she was like fainted to the point where like her eyes were rolling and she was making like a really scary noise with her body that I had to make a choice at that moment because she's also not from America. So she doesn't have health insurance. And so when I had suggested earlier, like, hey, what if we go to a hospital? She was like, no. At that point, I had to be like,
you gotta go.
You have to go. Like, we can't pretend like this didn't just happen. And we like, you're coming out of being passed out and it's not feeling better. So we were up in the middle of the Malibu mountains. So I had to call an ambulance and like a fire truck, an ambulance, like all these things came because we were so far away and they don't know like exactly what you need. And so there was probably like 10 different emergency services people that just kind of showed up. And our sweet retreaters, I love them so much because they were so great with it. Like I was like, guys, can we move the table for the stretcher to get through? And they all just like, hup, 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 like all could not have moved out of the way faster. We're like, what do we need? Water, like a towel, like what do we need? So in a weird way, community building.
Of course.
And our sweet retreater got taken away. She was taken to a hospital. But thank God we found out that if you're not from this country, you can just run a fucking tab as high as you want. Because what are they going to do?
Wow.
Come for you, send you a bill in another country?
Wow.
Like she got all the juice, the jazz.
Did they find it? So she had a compressed disc?
Yeah, and it was a nerve damage issue. So they gave her all these like cortisone shots. They gave her morphine, pain relievers, painkillers, muscle relaxers, lidocaine patches. She was in and out of the ER in like 5 hours, which for LA is incredible. And so I was just so grateful that like she was okay, but it was very intense just for a bit.
Of course, because you saw her deteriorating.
Yeah.
Then you see her pass out, and her eyes roll back in her head. You're
like
no,
purple lips were scary. I was like, why is she so cold but also sweating? But women, man, I just was like, women, you should not ever get to that level of pain where you faint, you know?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So that was scary just for a brief moment, but I think the team and I handled it so efficiently.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. If Steph listens to this, she's going to laugh. At one point, Steph was outside when our retreater fainted. So I ran outside to go get her to be like, we need help. And I went, Steph, so-and-so fainted. And she looks at me and she goes, okay, I'm not a doctor. As if I haven't known this woman intimately for 7 years. Like I don't know what she thought I was trying to say or
like, we need your medical opinion.
Yes. It was just such a funny moment. And then my favorite part of all of this was that our retreat had amazing sponsors. We had some incredible donations, and one of my favorite brands, Smile Cult, donated merch, which her stuff is very raunchy and like
and she was
fun.
Wearing it when she was in the hospital.
And she was wearing a shirt that said MILFs, and it's got like little bears like holding hands, but it's like mentally like assisted. I forget what the MILF stands for, but it stood for basically like mentally ill person who loves self-care and affirmations or something.
Oh, okay.
And it had that like written underneath. But watching her like being driven away in an ambulance with a fucking MILF shirt on. And then one of the paramedics to me was like, what kind of retreat is this? Like, I thought he was being like, is this some sort of like drug retreat? Is she on drugs or whatever? And I was like, it's this kind of, it's actually an anti-anxiety retreat, which is like kind of funny. And he was like, oh no, I was only asking because it's very peaceful in there. Kind of like compliments to you all. Like I thought he was going to be like, what kind of drugs are you guys on? Or like, but he was genuinely like, no, what kind of retreat is this?
Wow.
So that was a brief moment.
Okay.
But some other highlights I thought I would include because I don't want to give away all the amazing things that are entailed in the retreat because I want you guys to come.
But like, isn't that good to tell them all the amazing things?
Yeah.
Or you want there to be surprises?
Surprises. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want you to know the curriculum like down to a T.
Oh, sure.
But it was magical.
Aww.
Like every single person walked away telling us that like their life had changed for the better. Some people having like huge, major fucking like lifelong issues broken through that we were like, holy fuck. Our group chat that we made afterwards is still like every single day, people talking about it, like offering advice. Like we really created this community of people that anything is allowed. Like we created such a safe space to be like, here is my deepest, darkest traumas and secrets, and I still love you and I support you and you're worthy of love and help and like community.
Wow.
And it was just, I knew I wanted to do this and I knew we would be able to. I did not know it was going to be this impactful and like become such a big part of what I want to do in my life. Like we already have the next one planned.
Wow.
So go sign up at don'tpanicretreat.com for the next dates. But I thought I would tell you some of the funny things that happened.
Yes, please.
So did you know that there was a heat wave while you were gone?
No.
So our dumbasses bought like many blankets and pillows and rented heaters to like be prepared for
Cozy,
up in Malibu, like cold nights, hot days, cold nights. Bitch, it was like 98 up in the hills the first day we were there. The AC went out.
No.
Yes, because it was so hot that it was like overdrive. And we had to get the ACs fixed. And do you know what comes out in heat at this time of year in Malibu?
Is it spiders?
Fucking tarantulas.
You show me pictures, I still can't, my brain still won't let it. I thought tarantulas were in movies in Australia. That's literally the only, I didn't know.
Dog, these things were bigger than my hand.
That's not okay.
But here's the thing. I kind of am not afraid of them anymore. Because when you see so many being all furry and shit, they're kind of cute.
Okay, here's what I do like about them.
Okay.
What I respect about them. They can't really hide.
No.
It's like, oh, I can see it from, 40 feet away.
10 miles away.
I hate when I'm in bed and I look over and there's a spider like on my pillow that I had not seen. I'm like, and it makes me truly jump.
Yeah, you're right. This one, they were outside. We did have one morning because we would keep the big doors open to the kitchen, into the patio, like it was indoor, outdoor. One did crawl into the kitchen, which we immediately, swiftly were like, please leave. And it left.
You just said that?
Yeah, we ordered it out.
Really?
No, someone like took a plate and was like, get out of here, you little rascal.
Oh, it wouldn't get, no, okay.
Well, that was the weird thing is like, all of us agreed. We're like, why are we all not afraid of spiders anymore? It was kind of crazy. Yeah, it was wild. Some other highlights include I could not believe how diverse of people we had come. Like we had our age range was from early 20s to late 50s.
No.
Yes. And not only diversity in age, but sexuality. We had more queer people there than straight.
But it was
like,
queer led, right?
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. Well, after Sir dropped out, it was just me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
But then also in jobs, we had people who were literally like medical machine engineers, like designing things for like medical places.
Sure.
We had a PhD student who was like studying neuroscience.
Oh my God.
We had agents from like the entertainment industry.
Wow.
To a grandmother, to like, it was just so cool to see like film production people. It was just so, I kept telling the girls this all weekend. I was like, you guys being cool as shit makes me feel so good because that means like I'm cool as shit.
They're like,
that's
cool.
not what we meant.
Yeah, like our instructors just getting self-esteem, like as we
fucking speak. Someone did write in the review though, because we sent out like a survey afterwards where they were like, it was very cool to see the teachers participate sometimes because like I would do the breath work or like Steph's witchy Reiki class I participated in because they were like, it made it really feel very even. Like it didn't feel very like teacher student or like guru student. It just felt very real. Like we were all here at the same level, which I thought was a really good compliment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we also ate plant-based the entire time. And bitch, you would not fucking know at all you weren't eating meat.
Oh, really?
It was so good. The food was so filling. And I felt so like bad going back to regular food.
But
when we got
it.
back, but I went straight back to pizza the night you came over. Ow.
Oh.
The other sickest part was, and you'll appreciate this because we did a whole episode on cold plunging. You know how hard it is.
Yeah.
And we had about 14 girls the first day that we plunged, and I had 3 huge ice tubs, and I gave them the spiel about how it helps the nervous system, how we're actively putting ourselves into fight or flight. I'm like, these people have panic attacks. They know the feeling. They're going to fucking hate this. It's going to be really hard. I'm not expecting you guys to finish, but at least stay in for a minute. We're trying to get to 3, da-da-da-da-da. On the first go, every single person stayed in for 3 minutes. I was in shock. I was like, oh my God.
They were in shock.
Honestly, they were. And like them coming out and like screaming and cheering for each other. And we put on pump up jams. Like,
did 3 go at the exact same
yeah,
time?
so
like,
that helped, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like 3, whatever, to 14. And then we went at the end, like the instructors did, and like we had fun music on, like we were blasting Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo the whole time.
That's amazing.
And then it went so well that the next 2 times we all leveled up. So by the last day, everyone did 4 to 6 minutes with their hands under and dunked their heads under at some point. And I was just like, I can't help you guys anymore. You did it.
Yeah.
You're healed.
Now you're the instructors.
Now you guys are
now
your
you guys
own.
help me.
Yeah. But it was really cool. So those were like kind of my favorite highlights.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We wish you were there. I told the retreaters and maybe the confidants remember this, but I kept trying to find reasons to have you there. Yeah. Because I was like, you come to a stand-up set.
I'm like, for 10 people?
Yeah.
That could
And I'm
be-
like, yeah, it'll be so funny.
It'd be real bad.
The smallest show you've ever done.
I mean, no, definitely not smallest, but and it would have been fine. It would have been really supportive, and it would have probably wound up being so much fun.
But we got to figure out something.
Wait, are there things that you learned?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay.
I learned my capacity of doing something because I didn't think I could do the retreat.
What? When though? You told me about the idea, and then like 2 months later, it was happening.
The breakup, dude. I went into such a fucking bad place. You saw. I was like, who am I to be holding space for anyone right now?
Totally.
But exactly what I needed was to be with people that were also healing and holding space. And I didn't really talk about what was going on. I didn't really like get into my shit, but I fucking healed parts of me there.
I bet.
And being there for other people, the biggest like thing I learned was my purpose here on earth is to watch other people realize their own power. Like watching someone have an aha moment or a fucking realization or come out of the cold plunge. I was like, this is my kink.
I love it.
Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my fucking life.
Oh my God.
It was so powerful, dude. I hope you could come to one.
That's like, I would love to. That's kind of like what you do even like in like your documentary space too. You're like people having these aha moments and like, oh my God, this, I didn't know this. Like,
it's all
something you already
communication.
do.
I think I also learned that I have a really hard time taking compliments. Like all the women that were there to like say very kind things and like thank me for things, and I just could not accept any of it.
What's your go-to? Do you deflect?
Yeah,
or do you tell
I
them
go,
why
I
they're
know you
wrong,
are, but what am I?
Oh, okay.
I deflect and then I compliment them. And so like my friend was like, I'm going to say something and you just say thank you.
Yeah.
And so I tried to do that this weekend. It's very hard for me to accept any praise though.
I think it used to be for me, but now I'm great at it.
You're so smart.
Someone goes, oh my God, I love your hurting. Oh, it's so cute, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try
You're
that
like,
one.
Thank you. I get so many compliments on it.
Oh my God.
You just gotta roll with
well,
it.
we've like been going for a minute.
Great.
I feel like this was a light, fun, good epi to
was
come back to.
Perfect.
It was what was meant to be, baby.
And we all can now picture the giant athlete that just.
Oh my God. We're going to have to eventually come up with a name, I guess. I don't know. That's too soon to think of it.
The pro.
The pro.
Because he's a pro athlete and he's good at other stuff too.
Confidants, if you have ideas, throw them in the comments below. Hey, if you're going to rate this, you should.
But only rate it 5 stars. If you're not going to rate it 5 stars, don't rate it at all.
If you're not going to rate it fart stars,
Fart stars.
Because we're sensitive.
Yeah.
And until next week.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Come see me on tour.
yes.
I'm going to be in Texas October 20th through the 27th. Houston, Dallas. Not Dallas. Houston, Austin, Addison, and somewhere else.
We're going to try something new. As I go stand over there to stop the podcast, can you just very slowly
Yeah, I would love to.
raise this up, and then once it gets there, you drop it back down?
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Okay, bye, Confidant.
Bye.